Representing the cohort of Master of Arts in Special Education Needs, Additional Learning Needs is Ms. NURUL HUDAA. Ms. NURUL HUDAA is a dedicated educator with a solid focus on the individual needs of differently abled students. She started her journey as a Special Education Needs Officer and was introduced to the Dyslexia Association of Singapore during her trainee day. After 8 years as a SEN officer, she joined the DAS as an educational therapist. Apart from the main literacy program, HUDAA is also teaching the Prep to PSA program, is an EdTech integration specialist as well. She believes that technology can be used as a supplementary tool to enhance the learning of students with SEN. Let us now give Ms. NURUL HUDAA a hearty round of applause as we welcome her to the stage to deliver her valedictorian speech.
Good morning, faculty members of the University of South Wales and DAS Academy, honoured guests, colleagues and fellow graduates. Thank you USW and DAS for extending to me this priceless opportunity to share a few thoughts on my journey towards the completion of my master's degree. It is an honour to represent my graduate class today. Like most of the students with dyslexia, I'm a visual learner, hence I will share some pictures as I speak. Okay, you can turn the pictures. Okay, I joined DAS in 2015. My batch was the first one where all new educational therapists would go on to take the PCG, the postgraduate certificate, after we completed our initial training. We had to complete 2 modules as part of the PGC from the University of South Wales. I enrolled with USW in January 2017 and completed the first 2 modules by September 2018. By then, I had already placed an intention of pursuing the entire master's program instead of just exiting with a PGC. Considering the fact that we had already completed 2 modules, so what's a few more? Okay, as you can see in the picture, my batchmate Hamada and I were the only ones not in the USW graduation attire, as we both had decided to continue on to complete the whole master's program. Both of us have since completed our log and others MSN journey together this year. It took us almost 5 years. One of my colleagues teased me about it, joking about how Hamada and I must hold the record for taking the longest time to complete our masters. But better late than never, right? Okay. Not many of my colleagues know that my DS journey actually started way back in 2007. I was the 3rd batch of the Special Education Needs Officer, or previously known as Allied Educators. Okay, the picture on the left is, those are my fellow batchmates. Okay, we are known as SNO back then, and we were introduced into mainstream, SNOs, as they were known back then, were introduced to mainstream schools in 2005 to support students with varying SEN. As a training SNO, we were taught the fundamentals of special education needs at NIE. I expanded my knowledge of diverse learners and some teaching pedagogies at NIE. Subsequently, I attended training in DAS, which greatly impacted me. I truly enjoyed learning sessions provided by the trainers at DAS. We were taught the Orton Gillingham method, as said by Daryl, and even the trainers abided by these principles. Our lessons were multisensorial, diagnostic and prescriptive, systematic, sequential, and cumulative. The trainers also gave us direct and explicit instruction. They were flexible and emotionally sound too. Not only did they talk the talk, they certainly walked the walk. Okay. The trainers truly inspired me. The picture on the right is me and my trainers at DAS on my first graduation with DAS Academy. They really helped me deepen my understanding of dyslexia, and I learned many practical ways to teach dyslexic learners. I left the training in hopes of conducting lessons in similar, stimulating, engaging, and enjoyable way in near future with my student. The training at NIE and DAS taught me that every student has the potential and ability to learn. However, some special ones may require additional support, different learning experiences, and various tools to help them learn and develop further. I spent the next 8 years in a mainstream school as an SEN officer. During this time, I worked with numerous students with varying SEN. Each and every student that I came across deepened my belief that every student has the capacity to learn. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and some develop at their own pace. Unfortunately, sometimes the curriculum and academic demands in school do not provide sufficient opportunities for our struggling learners to learn at a suitable pace. However, we constantly held on to the reminder from our NIE and DS lecturers that we should be the advocates for the SEN students in our schools. Working in a school provided me with the opportunity to continue studying. I thus took on a degree in English with psychology with the Singapore University of Social Sciences. However, as the years passed, I was offered different roles in school. I felt that my specialization in helping dyslexic learners was not fully utilized. This is why a year after graduation, I decided to join the DES, the organization that introduced the world of dyslexic to me. As I reflect back, I realized that I had completed certain academic milestones and at my own pace too. I finished my degree later than my peers, and in the pursuit of my master's degree, I ended up taking a longer time too. But at the end of the day, I think it is about the importance of completing whatever you set your mind on. The journey was not easy. The last 2 years were especially challenging for everyone. There were times when I texted Hamada and asked her, why are we doing this? Isn't it easy to just quit? But I was still determined to complete this, in for a penny, in for a pound. Eventually, I ended up writing an entire paper on experiences of educational therapists teaching in an online setting during the challenging COVID-19 pandemic. I could not have completed this journey without my ever supportive and patient supervisor, Dr. Jun Siu. She is someone I look up to and an inspiration to many. I want to thank my ex-Parkway Parade colleague, Mariam Daud, for her consultation too. Jun and Mariam have been in my shoes before, hence they could empathize with my plight to complete the research in the midst of lesson planning, QAAs, CBAs, RFEs, and the new kid on the block, SMMU. I'd like to thank all my colleagues who participated in my research. You know who you are. My dear colleagues from Parkway Parade Learning Center, a special mention to Rina and someone who spent their time helping me complete my paper. It is truly an honor and privilege to work with for you fantastic educators like all of you. Thank you again. To the SSA at Rex House Learning Center, thank you for all the help you have rendered me throughout the years whenever I was faced with administrative matters, and especially thank you for not issuing me with a fine whenever I return the library books late. Okay? To my parents, I love you both and I'm blessed to be your daughter. Last but not least, to all the graduates today, congratulations, we made it to the end. Yes. Thank you.